From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, anxiety as bandits kidnap 46 persons in Kaduna State. Protests in Kwara over kidnap of 4 BUK students. Drama as ex-CBN governor takes oath of office as governor of Anambra. And on the foreign scene, at least 21 people killed, 25 others injured when Russia shelled a school and cultural center near Kharkiv. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Hour. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Now the news in full. Bandits have abducted at least 46 people in Agunu ward of Kachia local government area of Kaduna State. A resident of the community, Maurice Tanko, who confirmed the attack, said the bandits injured one person from the community, Abubakar Suli, presently receiving treatment in a medical facility. Meanwhile, the police public relations officer, ASP Muhammad Jaliki, did not respond to inquiries on the attack. And joint security operatives comprising the Nigerian Army, the police and members of the Niger State Vigilante Corps have neutralized over 100 bandits and repelled an attempted attack on police division in Bangi, the headquarters of Mariga local government area of Niger State. The Chief Press Secretary to Niger State Governor Abubakar Bello, Mary Peje, confirmed the attack. The governor commended the joint security operatives for their gallantry in repelling the attack and killing scores of bandits and commiserated with the family of an inspector who lost his life during the gun duel. The State Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Internal Security, Emmanuel Umar, said over 100 bandits were neutralized, while 50 motorcycles were recovered during the operation. Meanwhile, following the kidnap of 4 students along Kaduna-Suleja Road 2 days ago, parents and colleagues of the victims staged a protest to Government House, Ilorin, to plead with the Kwara State government to intervene in ransom payments. 3 of the victims are students of Bayero University, Kano, and another from a higher institution in Jigawa State. They were kidnapped while returning home due to the 8 weeks extension of strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. This parent says he has been contacted by those who kidnapped his son, demanding 20 million naira as ransom. A representative of the students says 7 million naira is demanded by the abductors, claiming that one of the students might have been killed.
Duse, University of Jigawa. So they are coming for school. So because of the ASU striking, because they just stayed there 1 month. After 1 month, they do meeting with federal government. The federal government agree with them, ASU. That's why they say make it come home because of the extent the strike to 2 months again. So I know they no fee stay there again. Make they come home. So that's why I send the money to him. So along the way, now they come after Kaduna Express Road to Suleja, and I kidnap them. All the people were inside the bus, they grab them. The children were inside the bus, around 4 students of the school. Reverend school, Jigawa students 2 and the other school there. Then they grab them. So that is fine. They demand for 20 million for the one person. So they don't call me now, sir. They don't say how much have we get it. My son call me. He say, I never get money. Then give them people but say they don't have time to say that 20 million. That's what a year be that. Bring money. I want to make government to help us to bring our children back to home. Help us pay the bill. The day for the students.
Early yesterday, I heard that 2 of our students coming because of ASU strike. The Abdulrazak Kauzara going to Kaduna to go and spend a little time with his sister. Our sister. So they are inside room around 12 o'clock. They are about to eat themselves. So with one other guy, they kidnapped them. So from reliable source now, they say their parent called us today that they demanded for 7 million naira. Now, as at this point now, we are trying to know who are those that called them.
And pensioners in Edo State take to the streets to protest non-payment of entitlements. The pensioners came out in numbers, causing vehicular gridlock at the Oba Ovarome Square. They are demanding payment of their entitlements such as gratuity and harmonization of monthly pension. The report.
They are also asking the state government to pay those screened in April 2017. According to them, yellow cards have been collected and local government pensioners who retired in 2017 are yet to receive their gratuities.
We are putting a very youthful years in serving this state, in particular Nigeria in general. It's a running of faith that we are not suffering at our old ages. For instance, some of our members who retired in 1996, let me just put it that way, is what they have been getting since 1996, 1996, they are still getting today. Those who retired 2000, lucky retired, comported 2000, what they were getting 2000, what they are still getting today. It may be surprised that we see a pensioner in those states where is it 400 naira a month. I repeat, 400 naira a month. The pension bureau office is there for you to go and verify. We have pensioners in those states where is 2,000 naira for more than 20, 30 years. Their pension money pay have been static. Nobody cares about them. Recall that the immediate past governor left here 2016. As soon as the very week he left, the State of Assembly then work out 200 million naira for Shomole, 100 naira for his deputy as pension. What before then, people have been on ground unattended to for many years ago.
I retired 2000. That's 2000. I have been on the salary of 9,000 some hundred since that time to this today, even till tomorrow. Even on the 13th, I receive a lot, the same amount of money. Nothing more than that. All these are the adjustments, nothing made.
The governor graciously set up money that they should use in paying accumulation of local government pension arrears. Pension arrears means until you are placed on pension, the month that they didn't place you is the arrears. They started payment 1982. They group us in batches, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, batch 4, batch 5, batch 6, and put estimated of 300 and something thousand, 300 and something million, 300 and something to be paid. Among all these badges, there's not one single badge that was cleared.
Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu, appealed to the protesters to be calm as the committee has been set up to look into their grievances and suggest a payment plan.
The time frame will be determined by their committee. You know why I said the time frame will be determined by their committee? Because they need to go into those documents to check what they have. Then the chairman, your chairman or your executive will go with HOS now. They will sit down, and when they discuss, he will come back to give you feedback of the time frame. So please, he is the chairman. When they go back now, the chairman will give you feedback of the timelines, because they will have to go back, sit with them, with the HOS committee, look at it. They will now give you the appropriate right time. And I can tell you it's not a long time. Issue of pensions are not issues we keep for long because of the sensitivity. So I want to please first apologize for you people to have come here to stay under the sun.
Normalcy, however, returned as the angry pensioners left the road with the hope that the committee will get to work and provide solutions in no distant time.
And fuel scarcity in Maiduguri is taking its toll on residents who face twin problems of power outages and high cost of fuel. Residents use fuel to power electricity generators as Maiduguri has been without public power supply for over 12 months now due to destruction of facilities and major power lines by Boko Haram insurgents. The report.
Many residents have been using petrol for their generating sets at home, offices and businesses since January 2021. The scarcity triggers fuel price hike from 165 naira to 400 naira per litre, worsening a bad situation with transport fares and the cost of goods and services going up. Commercial charging of mobile phones moved from 30 naira to 50 naira. School children, especially from poor background, are also suffering from the scarcity, as hike in transport fares prevents some of them from attending school.
It's not easy, especially for women. We didn't even have lights. It's up to so we are depend on the petrol alone. Okay. And for us to get it at the rate of this is a problem for us. We have to long queue before we get it. Then it's not easy for us as business people because for us to increase the price of our product, it's very hard. People are complaining because there's no even money in circulation.
Honestly, fuel price hike is affecting our business. Coming from home, you pay high transport fare, and the same applies here. Purchasing fuel for our generators is another thing. A litre will not take you anywhere.
Although power supply has been restored in some parts of Maiduguri, but the distribution company in charge of electricity is still struggling to restore electricity supply in some parts of the city.
A gas tanker exploded at Ijora Pellet Junction beside Lagos State Homes Estate at Ijora Badia on Thursday in Lagos State. The Acting Zonal Coordinator, Southwest Zonal Office, National Emergency Management Agency, Ibrahim Farinloye, who confirmed the incident in a statement in Lagos, said earlier some passers-by drew the attention of the driver that the tanker loaded with 20,000 metric tons of liquefied natural gas was leaking. Meanwhile, firefighters and a team from Ijora Badia Police Division were on ground to secure lives and property. No life was lost in the accident. And former Central Bank Governor Professor Charles Soludo has been sworn in as Anambra State Governor with a promise to make the state a hub for investments. The inauguration took place at the Government House, Oka, where strict control of who will have access to the ceremony was enforced. This, however, could not stop a mild drama when wife of the outgoing governor, Willie Obiano, slapped former Nigerian ambassador to Spain, Bianca Ojukwu. The newly sworn-in governor said he will dedicate his energy to promoting made in Anambra products, dialoguing with the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, among others. Stakeholders believe the governor has the capacity to move the state forward.
I see and feel all the humongous challenges. I know the lean financial base of our state. I know the limitations imposed upon a sub-national state, such as Anambra, by the peculiar structure of our federation. But ladies and gentlemen, here is my promise. I will give it my all. I will work hard, very hard every day with you to make Anambra proud. The conspiracy of silence by the elite and some of the community leaders must end. If you see something, say something, or do something. Let those in the forest come out. Surrender your guns. And let's work together to rehabilitate and empower you to contribute positively to peace and prosperity of our homeland.
It signifies the future for Anambra State, looking at the man Soludo, a man of honor, a man of integrity, a man of wide experience, and a man that is coming with whole lots of experience.
Look at his background, look at his promises when he was doing election. What else do you want people to do? When you campaign, you promise people things, you deliver it.
A man of great experience, a man who is not at all timid about introducing a new order to the scheme of things.
Professor Charles Soludo at last realized his political ambition to be the governor of Anambra State after 2 unsuccessful attempts and long legal battles. Here is his profile.
With utmost humility and gratitude to God, I accept the results of the 2021 Anambra governorship election.
Charles Chukwuma Soludo, born on 28 July 1960, is from Agwata local government area of Anambra State. He is an economics professor. Soludo bagged both his first degree, his master's and his PhD from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Enugu State. Professor Soludo rose to the position of professor at University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and later a visiting professor at Swarthmore College in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, in America. Soludo is former governor and chairman of the Central Bank of Nigeria. President Olusegun Obasanjo first appointed him governor of Central Bank of Nigeria on May 29, 2004. Soludo has also been a consultant to a number of international organizations like the World Bank. In 2009, Soludo contested for the position of governor of Anambra State under the People's Democratic Party (PDP), but lost to Peter Obi of All People's Grand Alliance (APGA). He, however, resigned from the PDP in July 2013 and joined APGA in preparation for the 2013 governorship race, but again failed to win the primaries. In February 2021, Soludo officially announced his intention to contest the governorship election under APGA. Owing to an internal crisis in APGA, he was initially not recognized as the party's candidate for the November 6th election. Soludo will later be restated by the court, and the Supreme Court affirmed him as the eligible candidate. He contested under the party and emerged the winner of the Anambra election in November 2021.
I see us exporting massively to the world, and the world coming to Anambra as a preferred destination to live, to work, to invest, learn, relax, and enjoy. Ndeby history beckons. Seize this moment in the Anambra, and together, let us make it count.
And to politics now, where newly elected chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Iyorchia Ayu, has stated that under his leadership, the party has resolved most of its internal crises, especially those regarding state chapters of the party. The chairman made this known during the party's National Working Committee meeting, which was held at its National Secretariat in Abuja. He added that with the challenges aside, the PDP is set to return to its winning ways. The report.
The party chairman called on all aggrieved members of the party to sheath their swords and settle their differences internally.
The fact that we made a mistake along the line and Nigeria lost confidence doesn't mean that that is impossible. It is still possible, because with unity everything is possible. I call on every member of this party to forget their differences. If there are differences, we must settle such differences in-house. No party member should attack another party member.
Ayu also added that the party will soon return to its winning ways as majority of the issues in the party has been resolved.
We are happy to say that since January, this NWC, which we put in place, has been able to resolve a lot of issues in our state chapters. We immediately had to address the issues of various elections. And I'm happy to say that in all those elections, with the cooperation of all our members, the party was able to return to its winning ways.
Behind me is the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party and the venue of its National Executive Council meeting, as well as its Board of Trustees meeting, where it is expected that crucial issues regarding the party ahead of the 2023 general elections will be addressed. Now, surrounding me are supporters of various aspirants who are at the Secretariat to blow the trumpet of their preferred candidates, as well as a few who are clamoring for an end to the dispensation of elderly candidates to give way to young and vibrant Nigerians to take over the affairs of the country.
This is the Take Back Nigeria movement, and their call is for the PDP to nominate the best candidates to contest in the 2023 presidential election. They believe that candidate is Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State.
After searching all the candidates in PDP, we have identified Obi as that one. We need somebody that understands what it means to shut down the cost of governance, and that everybody knows is Obi's biggest threat. We are equally ready to challenge anybody who says their candidate is the best to come to the national TV and debate us.
Just across is also the amalgamated Atiku support group, who are also insisting that the former vice president remains the solution to Nigeria's problems.
When we talk about capacity, we talk about experience. Atiku has gone through the process. He has been in the ship. He rode the ship in before now as a vice president, and he came out. All right. So he has the experience, he has the finance, he has the crowd. I mean, the other candidates, well, good for them. We will see at the ring. You know, it is not about the noise, it's about the finals.
Retired Colonel Chinyere Obi is, however, of the opinion that the time has come for young Nigerians to take over the affairs of the country.
We have suffered enough. The youth now supposed to be what? Supposed to vote, to come out. Let them go. I am 73 and Tinubu is telling me that he's 60 something, so I'm his senior. Now they have come out. They will now come and eat popcorn for road. They will eat corn. But when they enter there, that is the end. They will never remember the young ones. It's not that way. Women are suffering. Look at them. 1,000 to 2,000, they are standing because there's no food and they are hungry, right? And when they vote on them, when they enter, they will forget them. Why are they using black Jeep every time? Because their heart is black. You people should fight for Nigeria. Nigeria is gone. Let the youth come out and fight for Nigeria.
Sagir Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV.
Meanwhile, former governor of Nasarawa State and senator representing Nasarawa West Senatorial District of Nasarawa State, Senator Tanko Almakura, has promised to unite the All Progressive Congress and run a gender-friendly and all-inclusive government. Senator Almakura said this during his visit to the House of Representatives, where he went to solicit the support of members for the coveted position of the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress. The former governor of Nasarawa State said if elected as national chairman, he will ensure internal democracy and women will be well represented in all ramifications in the party. Leader of the caucus, Adu Dugwa, says Senator Almakura is a sincere, reliable and honest politician who operates an open-door policy. Also, the Deputy Speaker, Idris Wase, says the former governor is a generous man who gave opportunity to all and who has the quality and capacity to move the party forward. And still talking politics, Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari directs political office holders with ambitions to contest in the upcoming election to study the new Electoral Act. The governor made the statement after a closed-door meeting with political office holders at the Muhammadu Buhari Government House. Similarly, the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Mustapha Inuwa, has formally informed the APC party members in the state his intention to join the 2023 governorship race. Jamil Mabe has the details.
The Katsina State Governor has called on political office holders to comply with the new Electoral Act during a closed-door meeting with political office holders in the state. Responding to journalists after the meeting, Governor Masari said he briefed those that has ambition to contest for election to study the new law.
And we have also briefed those of them that have ambition to contest election to have a look at the Electoral Act signed by Mr. President, so that they will do the needful and avoid the avoidables. Nobody is sacked and nobody will be sacked.
Few minutes after the meeting, the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Mustapha Inuwa, visited APC State Party office to inform party leaders on his decision to contest for the gubernatorial position in the upcoming election. Dr. Mustapha said, based on consultation with the governor and other stakeholders, the time has come to accept the call by Katsina State people to contest for the governorship election.
Yesterday, we decided to visit the party and inform the party, which I believe that should be the primary thing to do, because candidates from the position of councillor to the president are filled by the party, and it is therefore the responsibility of the party to do that. So for any right-thinking person, before you start anything to do with election contest in these positions, it is only imperative that you get to the party, inform the party, and then you kickstart. So here I am with some of my friends to inform you formally that we have really joined this race for the position of governorship in the 2023 election.
In the past, Dr. Mustapha has served as caretaker of Ambusa local government, a one-time commissioner of education and secretary to the state government on the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. Dr. Mustapha is currently serving his second tenure as secretary to the state government under the APC administration. Jamilu Mabai, Trust TV News, Katsina.
You're watching Trust TV News Hour. Coming up after the break, excavation of Oshun artifacts. This and more after the break. Do stay with us.
Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most people who fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. However, some will become seriously ill and require medical attention. The virus can spread from an infected person's mouth or nose in small liquid particles when they cough, sneeze, speak, sing, or breathe. These particles range from larger respiratory droplets to smaller aerosols. You can be infected by breathing in the virus if you're near someone who has COVID-19, or by touching a contaminated surface and then touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. The virus spreads more easily indoors and in crowded settings. Maintain a safe distance from others, at least 2 meters, even if they don't appear to be sick. Wear a mask in public, especially indoors or when physical distancing is not possible. Clean your hands often. Use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Stay home if you feel unwell. Get vaccinated. Properly fitted masks can help prevent the spread of the virus from the person wearing the mask to others.
Masks alone do not protect against COVID-19 and should be combined with physical distancing and hand hygiene. Protect yourself and others around you by knowing the facts and taking appropriate precautions. Follow advice provided by your local health authority. This message is brought to you by Trust TV.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Still News Hour on Trust TV. Now look at our top stories. Bandits have abducted at least 46 people in Agunu Dutse, Agunu ward of Kache local government area of Kaduna State. And parents of colleagues of students kidnapped along Kaduna-Suleja Road staged a protest to Government House Ilorin to plead with Kwara State government to intervene in ransom payments. And now moving on to other stories. Vaccine hesitancy is a major problem in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic in Kano State, even though the infection rate in the state may be minimal due to low testing. Over 500,000 people have so far been vaccinated in the populous state. Health authorities, however, argued that a remarkable improvement has been recorded in the fight against the pandemic. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibril takes a look at the COVID-19 vaccine as an effective response to the pandemic in Kano. The report.
Across the world, the use of vaccine for prevention against COVID-19 infection is regarded as the first major and effective response.
Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, the outbreak across the globe, one of the strategies to contain the outbreak is actually the vaccination. Vaccination or immunization prevents people from getting infected, especially by an infectious agent.
In this traditionally conservative society of Kano, not too many people believe about the effectiveness of the vaccine. The COVID-19 vaccine that they brought will not work on us, and we will not do it. We believe God will always protect us in time of problem. Kano was once the epicenter of the infection, with over 5,000 confirmed positive cases and a little above 215 deaths. In March 2021, the state obtained over 200,000 doses of AstraZeneca and later 138,888 doses of Moderna. But so far, only 58,404 people were vaccinated as at September 2021.
In Kano, we vaccinated 434,672 people with COVID vaccine. That is the first dose. While we vaccinated around 179,911 with second dose. Most of these vaccines are supposed to be taken twice, first and second dose, with the exception of Johnson & Johnson that you take only once. So we vaccinated this 179,911 with second dose, and we are able, since the receipt of additional vaccine for booster, we vaccinated around 51,522 people with a booster dose of COVID-19 vaccine. So in total, we are talking about 600 or so people that got vaccinated with COVID vaccine in Kano.
Ahmad Tukur is a mechanic who do not even believe about the reality of the virus, let alone its preventive measures. An opinion dismissed by Muhammad Halilu, who has since taken his first and second doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. Although we have not been informed on how effective is the vaccine, but we were told it is for everybody. They gave us card before administering the vaccine. And as for me, I have taken all the required 2 doses.
aka sake bamu wani kati muka karba muka je kuma muka sake karban zagaye na biyu.
Lura corona ni ana tsarin kamar magana banza ce.
The issue of COVID-19 vaccine for us is of no use. Take a look at the former US President Obama. He took the 2 doses, yet he is still in isolation. Therefore, what we need in Nigeria is malaria prevention.
Magana da muke mu a Najeriya, abin da muke so a mana magani shine maganar malaria.
At the moment, the rate of infection has drastically reduced in Kano, owing to a number of sustained measures. Again, the problem of vaccine hesitancy may likely lead to a resurgence across the state. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now to legislative matters, where the House of Representatives has recommended jail term and fines for parents and guardians who violate the Child's Right Act. The House also wants reinforcement of the provisions of the Compulsory Free Universal Basic Education Act 2004 in the Federal Capital Territory and other parts of the country. Bamidele Salam, a federal lawmaker from Osun State, moved the motion on the floor of the House at plenary on Thursday. The House urged the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory to ensure full compliance with the provisions of the UBEC Act and the Child's Right Act in the Federal Capital Territory. Bamidele lamented the increase in the number of out-of-school children in the country, which, according to the report by the Federal Ministry of Education in 2021, is estimated at 10.1 million.
States in Nigeria have adopted and domesticated the Child Rights Act. Cognizant that Section 2 of the Universal Basic Education Commission UBEC Act provides that every government in Nigeria shall provide free, compulsory, and basic education for every child of primary and junior secondary, and that parents who fail to complete such, and that parents must ensure that their wards attend and complete primary and junior secondary school. Also cognizant that Section 2, subsection 3 of the Act compels stakeholders in education in a local government area to enforce the provisions of Section 2, thus ensuring that every parent or person who has the care and custody of a child sends such a child for his primary and junior secondary school education.
And a bill for an act to provide for statutory regulations of peacekeeping operations by members of the Nigerian Armed Forces, the Nigeria Police, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps and other security organizations scales second reading in the House of Representatives. The bill, sponsored by Representative Wole Oke, seeks to, among other things, procure equipment and train personnel to partake in the peacekeeping mission, as well as to make Nigeria's foreign policy in peacekeeping operations to be in tandem with international best practices. The report.
Nigeria has over the years had cause to participate in several peacekeeping operations in many countries all over the world. From the records, Nigeria has spent over $8 billion with over 1,200 soldiers and more than 200 police officers deployed in these operations. With the move to upgrade statutory regulations of peace operations, Nigeria will not only invest but earn foreign exchange.
Unlike in other democracies like Japan, like Korea, like Pakistan, like Bangladesh, like India, where we have statutes that regulate deployment of both personnel and equipment to United Nations vis-a-vis refunds to the nation. As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, it has been a source of foreign earnings to India, to Bangladesh. But in our own case, Mr. Speaker, we have no such provisions. So even the proceeds, Mr. Speaker, that accrue to Nigeria, that is paid into our JP Morgan, ought to reflect in our MTEF parameter vis-a-vis annual appropriation. But because there is no law, regulations made by this parliament, sir, to regulate these activities, we deploy the rule of the thumb.
Lawmakers in their contribution commend the sponsor of the bill but disagreed on the aspect of the claim that there are not provisions guiding peacekeeping operations.
But I disagree with you, and it has to be put on record that the government of purpose that we run here under President Muhammadu Buhari must have had a lot of provisions in different forms. They may not have to be addressed as such, But I can't take that, yes, government has no provision whatsoever in the appropriation of the land to do with peacekeeping. We have so many subheads. We have so many provisions in the finances of the Nigerian armed forces, in the police and what have you. They may not necessarily have to be addressed as funds meant to address specifically foreign missions. This is a point that I would like you to take notice of, so that at the end you may not eventually mislead the House or mislead the public in that direction.
I may not have seen it captured in an act, but in the normal budgetary allocations, even this year, there are a certain amount of money we have allocated for peace operations. Yeah. And right now, as I speak, we have some badges. Some soldiers are some went to Gambia, and some are on their line to Sudan also. And it's those resources that is being released. But that border information can be gotten. Secondly, and very importantly, Mr. Speaker, as important as this bill is, there is need for us to have a legislative brief before all of us here, a synopsis, so that we can be able to speak to the bill.
Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it.
In another development, the House rescinded its decision on the motion calling on the federal government to save Nigeria from recurring hardship occasioned by fuel scarcity. Chairman House Committee on Rules and Business Abubakar Folata noted that there is an ad hoc committee currently meeting with relevant stakeholders in the petroleum industry and conducting an investigation to find a lasting solution to the reoccurring petroleum scarcity in Nigeria. The House of Representatives also urged Federal Ministry of Education to liaise with relevant government agencies to ensure employment for first-class graduates of Nigerian institutions. This followed a motion by Chinedu Martins that Nigerian universities produce hundreds of first-class graduates annually at the end of every academic year. A great percentage of them find it difficult to secure employment to contribute to nation building. In another development, the House mandated its Committee on Banking and Currency to investigate the excessive charges on bank transactions by deposit money banks in Nigeria.
And still talking legislative matters, the fight against corruption gets a boost as the Nigerian Senate passed a bill to amend the Money Laundering Act 2011. The upper chamber passed the bill after consideration by the Committee of the Whole. The report.
The passage of the bill tagged Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 followed the consideration of a report by the Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes. Chairman of the committee, Senator Suleiman Abdulkwari, in his presentation, said the bill seeks to repeal the institutional and legal framework on money laundering prohibition in Nigeria. The provisions of the bill in Section 12 prohibits the opening of anonymous accounts in fictitious name and shell banks. In other words, banks with no physical presence in the country.
Stakeholders support the passage of this bill in view of its importance and relevance to the anti-corruption drive of the present administration, as well as the time-bound relevance of the FATF expectations. The enactment of this bill will also resolve the institutional issues regarding establishment of the Special Control Unit against Money Laundering, SCUMO, under the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, being implemented by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. That the bill seeks to introduce certain supervisory and enforcement mechanisms through the imposition
for an act to repeal the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 as amended and enact the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 to provide comprehensive legal and institutional framework for the prevention and prohibition of money laundering in Nigeria, establish the Special Control Unit under the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and for other related matters, 2022, third reading taken, and the bill is hereby passed. Clearly, this is one piece of legislation that will help the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in fighting money laundering and corruption in general. Laws are meant to bring and sustain sanity, and wherever we find the laws not bringing that kind of expected benefit, we need to look at them and ensure that we work on them for us to achieve our target.
The enactment of this bill will resolve the institutional issues regarding the establishment of special control units against money laundering under the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment, being implemented by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission.
Meanwhile, operatives of the Economics and Financial Crimes Commission Enugu Zonal Command have arrested a suspect on the watch list of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, Kelechi Anozie. The operatives arrested Anozie following credible intelligence linking him to alleged conspiracy, wire fraud and money laundering. Anozie and 4 other suspects, Valentine Iro, Ekene Ekechukwu, popularly called Ogedi Power, Bright Azubike, popularly called Bright Bawa Azubike, and Ifeanyi Jr. are alleged to have defrauded the victim, who lives in Illinois, United States, the sum of $135,800 and another $47,000. Anozie is the founder of Praying City Church, located in Owerri, Imo State. And Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Eniton Ogunwusi, unveils ancient Igbo Olokun heritage site in Ile-Ife, Osun State, after an archaeologist, Dr. Babatunde Babalola, carried out an excavation work at the site, digging out some ancient artifacts. The report.
Dr. Babalola is a researcher with British Museum, and he says the Olokun bronze head believed to represent the king was excavated at the site in 1910 by locals for a German anthropologist, Leo Frobenius.
This site is called the Olokun, I think partly because the famous Olokun bronze head was excavated here in 1910. And that is the picture of the Olokun head that was excavated here in 1910 for a German anthropologist, Leo Frobenius. So when he came here in 1910, somebody dug up, the locals, of course, dug up this bronze head, and it's what we know now all over the world. But the significance of this site lies on the fact that this is where indigenous Yoruba glass technology was invented, and there was, a very intensive production of glass bead at this site, dated to 11th century through 15th century. So we are talking about over 1,000 years ago.
The Oni of Ife expressed joy over the discovery, vowing to trace Yoruba artifacts taken away over the years and bring them back for the common use of all Yorubas.
For all our artifacts and antiquities to come back, we need to create a very good base. It's another thing to celebrate returning it back. It's another thing to plug it appropriately for the common use of all of us. So those are things we want to actually establish first, within things we have within our confines in terms of archaeological means and anthropological means. And that's why we're working in conjunction with a lot of universities. Thank God for University of Ife that is here, and so many other universities, University of Ibadan, Cambridge University, Harvard University. They are all partnering with us. So for us to return, it will now be very seamless to bring them back.
You're still watching Trust TV News Hour. The news continues after this break. Stay with us.
The idea was to give the interim government confidence that there is somebody, a military man, who is well known, who can be accepted.
You alluded to the case of your son, Umar Farouk. Are you in touch with him?
Yes, yes. He phones us 2 times, sometimes 3 times in a month.
As always, when I'm talking about late Abiola, I still thank my God for directing me on things to do when he gave me that leadership of this country.
Many of you honest Fulanis, you allow this man to cast aspersion on you.
You know, Zamfara is the mother of all bandits.
The biggest problem, if you permit me, is the fact that we have not been able to get the totality of our citizenry.
It's very, very difficult to have a fixed mind like that this one will you will hand over to this person because you think you will do better.
I don't see myself under no circumstance ever leaving APC for another political party.
Here on the Mambila Plateau. And this is where the hydroelectric power dam is supposed to be constructed.
Most people in Nigeria are ignorant of the fact that employing a child as a maid is in fact against the law.
Access to the textile mill has been very difficult.
I believe, or I think, that if you want to make money, it should be in a place where there are not plenty of people that can do what you do.
From the way things are happening now, I don't think the two parties will make any impact.
I've been talking about the updates concerning the campaign of Nigerian Super Eagles in Abuja.
Bola Tinubu has informed President Muhammadu Buhari of his ambition to contest for the position of president.
To be self-reliant, a blind man defies all odds to become a carpenter in Gombe State.
The country is now experiencing a fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic with the emergence of the Omicron variant.
Talks are ongoing between NRC management and the union.
Welcome back. This is still Trust TV News Hour. Now, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Ni Adebayo, says plans are underway for the ports in Nigeria to operate 24 hours a day and 7 days a week to facilitate quicker movement of goods. He said this Thursday during the weekly ministerial briefing on the Sugar Backward Integration Program organized by the Presidential Communication Team at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. He is reacting to a question that sought to know what the government is doing to tackle the challenges that hindered the clearance of goods at the ports. The minister said, as vice chairman of the Presidential Ease of Doing Business Environment Council under the chairmanship of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, he would confirm that the council had been working to improve the business environment in the country.
In my presentation, that there are major challenges that are being encountered in the industry, and I said one of the challenges is with clearing of goods. You pointed out that yes, that I am part of the Ease of Doing Business, and my ministry is charged with in the implementation of the Ease of Doing Business, which is true. I am the vice chairman of the Presidential Ease of Doing Business Environment Council, which is under the chairmanship of His Excellency the Vice President. PEBEC, as you all know, has been doing a lot of work to try to improve the business environment in this country. Even only 2 days ago, we held another meeting under the chairmanship of the Vice President, and this issue came up again. It keeps occurring. And a lot of effort is going into trying to see what efforts can be made, what can be done to ease that particular environment. As you are all aware, government is spending a lot of money on infrastructure, the roads to the ports. Contracts have been awarded for scanning machines for the customs to enable them clear goods more efficiently and quicker. Plans are underway for the ports to operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so that there will be quicker movement of goods. Before the end of the year, it is believed that the new port at Lekki will be operational. So plans are already underway to see to it that the road network to those ports, so that there will be improved, so that there will be quick evacuation of goods from the ports at minimal cost and at minimal effort for importers and both importers and exporters. So efforts are being made. The challenges are being addressed with a view to easing that particular challenge.
And erection of rice pyramids in Abuja and corn pyramids in Kaduna has raised hopes that prices may soon come down. Chamunda Beng speaks to rice sellers at Utako Market to find out if the efforts by both Maize Association of Nigeria and Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria have made an impact in market prices of the grains. The report.
This field once hosted 1 million rice paddies stacked in 15 separate pyramids. Now, the Rice Pyramid Project is a collaboration between the Central Bank of Nigeria's Anchor Borrowers Program and the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria in order to boost rice production and exportation out of the country and to also reduce the cost of rice. As you can see, the field is completely empty. The pyramids have been dismantled and the rice paddies taken out for distribution.
The rice pyramids located in Lugbe, Abuja were unveiled by President Muhammadu Buhari in January this year. How have the prices of these grains fared since the pyramids sprang up?
It's high. As of now, it's high. The price of rice is high. Before, we used to buy rice. You can get rice of 18,020, but now it's 30,000, 31. Imported rice is 30,000. The local one, you can get it 25, 26 or 24. Depend the company of that rice.
The rice, the mudu, they are selling is 650. The local one. Like last month, what it was, they are selling it 700. Now don't increase, go up.
In Nigeria rice now, I go sell 25,000, 26,000, 27,000 massive. See, foreign 31,000, 32,000. 18, 17 the Nigeria rice. Now they reach 20-something thousand.
The Maize Association of Nigeria, MAN, launched the first pyramid in February 2022. After the launch, the association announced a 60% increase in annual production of 20 million metric tons in 2021, from 8 million metric tons in 2015. However, the price of maize has not come down.
Before, we used to buy corn 250, 300, but now corn is 450. And when rain will fall now, the thing will increase very well because they start planting corn.
Before it was 250 for a mudu, but now it's 450. I can't say, but because of the price of things, how things are expensive. Just like beans. Before beans was 600 for a mudu, but now it's 1-2. Then our Nigerian rice as well was 600 before, but now it's 900. So.
MAN is making plans to unveil a second maize pyramid in Kaduna, which according to the association will crash prices of maize. The maize pyramids will be unveiled on 22nd March to mark the 30th anniversary celebration of the association. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And that wraps up Trust TV News Hour for tonight. Don't forget, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.